So we have a question from at least two viewers, one in Cannon Falls, one in Yellow Medicine County, who want to talk about the buffer strip issue. The viewer in Cannon Falls is noting that Governor Dayton recently stated he would pay for the buffer tax credit with clean water funds from the legacy funds. That doesn't appear to be happening now. Maybe it's coming from the general fund. He doesn't think it makes sense to pay for it with the clean water funds. You know, the specifics of this issue don't get tracked a lot in Twin City media, but it's really important to all Minnesotans and really noticed by our viewers in greater Minnesota. So maybe somebody can bring us up to date on where this is at.
Well, I'm on the Ag Committee, and I can tell you that the whole thing has been kind of a cluster. I mean, you know, I agree with 99% of the governor's environmental policies, and I agree with about 10% about the way he rolls it out. I remember when I was on Ag, and I sat there, and I spent the first 2 months defending every one of his proposals because he's the Democratic governor, and I'm on the committee, and that's my job, right? But after a while, I began to see a pattern that I was very uncomfortable with, and what was going on is Republicans kept offering bill after bill after bill that would limit his ability to do these rulemaking things. And I thought that was, well, this is the Department of MDA, you know, why aren't we supporting the experts on this? And what I realized is that oftentimes what we're seeing is the governor would make some of these rules like buffer strips or other things, and he doesn't really connect as well with the people that it affects. And so this is an example of how now we're going back and forth in crazy negotiations. And I get it, you know, if he'd have went in and said, oh, I'm thinking about doing this, they'd have rose up and said no, right? And so how do you find some middle ground on that? But and so specific to this, I can't tell you what where we're going to land on that just yet. I think that I remember there was consternation about taking money from legacy to pay for that, as that's earmarked for other stuff. But I don't think I've seen any clear legislation that, I mean, we didn't, when we passed the Ag bill, I don't think we were very clear about that either. So my guess is that there's very little from our side being done on that, at least on the Senate side. I can't speak to the House Ag. But that's been the frustrating part, is just the inconsistencies between how the governor rolls it out and what I think is probably meant to be a pretty good idea, and how they're engaging the rest of the folks has been really difficult.
And part of the challenge is what comes off as polarization. And so you have, it's clean water versus farming.
Yeah.
And I toured the state. I met hundreds of farmers, and they all pretty much want clean water too.
Most pragmatic folks you're going to find.
And they want to, and they're conservationists,
yeah.
you know, and they like clean water. But they also want to stay in business. And how do we manage this? And so it comes off as though there's two sides. And actually, they're so close to agreement that if there was this discussion that Jason was talking about,
the polarization is what kills it.
Yeah. And so then, oh no, we're doing clean water. We're not going to yield on this buffer thing. And there's plenty of room to find a way to keep the water clean, I think.
And if I can just plug one thing,
going.
I'm sorry. If I plug one other thing, is that this is really an example of what happens when you don't have a comprehensive water strategy for the state. I'm on the Legislative Water Commission. Every meeting I go to, I say, when are we going to do this? You know, and they're reluctant because that's a big lift. But I'm just like, look at the states around us that are suffering right now. We have we've been blessed with just the most ridiculous amount of great water and some of the best fishing you can ever be a part of, and clean and natural and all the things you want. And we don't have a strategy for that. How is that possible when you look at other states talking about trying to truck in water from the Great Lakes, pipe it on down there? And it's just, I just don't understand that. And if we had that, we'd be avoiding all these issues right here. Because where these little skirmishes that aren't related aren't doing us any good.
When I looked into it one time, and I'm not on those committees, but I think there are at least 6 agencies that deal with water.
Yeah, at least.
And you can get approval from 5 and think you're done. But the 6th one goes like, oh no, you're not done yet. And so it's time, I think it could come out of a governor's office to lead on this, or some
wonder if there should be a sub-agency.
Some bright senator from Shoreview maybe could lead the way to
when they elect that guy, we should do that. Yes.
Well, specific to what you just said, Senator, the Star Tribune this morning had an article about the Hiawatha Golf Course and the pumping issues that are going on there. And I realize that isn't necessarily something that this legislature is going to resolve, but it is just an illustration that's one of the many issues that exist that affect or touch on water-related questions.
And, you know, water could be the future gold.
Well, and we're sitting on a gold mine, and our state, if you said Legislative Water Commission, I was, again, like healthcare, how complicated it is, and the science behind managing, and how the regions of our state are so different geologically in the way they respond and how much water they hold. It isn't easy to draw. I'm not saying that plan is something you can whip up over a weekend. It just needs to be done.
one of the things that comes up when you've done this program as long as I have, that's both a good thing and a bad thing. You could get there are majority and dissenting opinions on that, but I recall some years ago discussions about the issues in southwestern Minnesota, Worthington, for example, which is actually
Yep.
piping in water.
Yes, it is.
Because of its geological situation
Yeah.
and needed some help from the legislature because the federal government wasn't coming through on that.
Right, right. Senator Weber was talking about that today in the retiring room, about how he's trying to get a second pipe in there. And he told Osmic, who was against it, that that's how he's going to get his shrimp out and distribute them across the state. Because he's got a shrimp farm down there now that he got set up. So
So we're farming shrimp. Isn't that innovative?
Well, there you go. There
Yeah.
you go.